45%. That is how far Canadian land border crossings to the US have dropped. And it's not just because Canadians fell in love with winter camping and gas prices.
It's because crossing the border now feels like you're walking into an interrogation room. Detentions are up, interrogations are up, and somehow Kristi Noem is now in charge of Homeland Security.
Yep, the woman who shot her dog and called it leadership is now running border policy. Botox Barbie meets Border Patrol. Welcome to 2025.
Border guards are searching your cell phone to make sure your social media aligns with Trump. Hours-long detentions with no explanation and questions like, so what podcast do you listen to?
Freedom's feeling a little conditional these days.
Trump's travel bans are back. Homeland Security wants to blacklist countries based on values. And Americans might encounter a heightened risk of harassment when traveling to those countries that are targeted by Trump.
But don't worry, to our American friends, you are safe here. Canadians love our neighbors to the south. But just a little advice. Leave the MAGA hat and God's Guns and Freedoms t-shirt at home.
This week on Travel Tuesday, we're showing you how to explore Canada without the border drama. No bans, no MAGA hats required.
Just 3 unforgettable Canadian trips by train, by boat, and by let's never leave again. Let's go. The boat is your floating cottage fantasy.
This is hands down one of the coolest ways to see Ontario, cruising the historic Rideau Canal on your own private boat. No license, no captain, no stress, just pure luxury.
Seriously, if you can drive a golf cart, you can drive a boat. They'll show you how to dock, steer, and even go through the locks. And really, it's easier than parallel parking in downtown Toronto.
The trip starts in Smiths Falls, and from there, you can cruise at your own pace through one of Canada's most beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
Expect winding rivers, historic locks, charming towns, and even a few lakes big enough to moor up and dive in for a swim.
And this is one of those rare trips that works for everyone. Multi-generational families, groups of friends, couples who want space but not too much space. It's great.
The boats are fully equipped with kitchens, bathrooms, multiple bedrooms, and top deck lounging. It's basically a floating Airbnb with better neighbors.
Along the way, you'll go through historic locks run by Parks Canada and stop at gorgeous towns like Merrickville, Perth, Westport, and even Ottawa. You'll be able to shop at local farmers markets, cafes, and even a winery or two. It feels like a little slice of Europe at a fraction of the cost.
Docking fees are included right at the locks with Parks Canada or at islands, moorings, and you can stay in the towns as well. Because this is Canada. You can dock and camp out for the night in total peace. No one's going to yell at you for using a picnic table without a permit. We've done the Rideau Canal and the Trent-Severn Waterway. And if you love the idea of captaining your own boat, but want something a little more off the radar, then the Trent-Severn Waterway is calling.
This National Historic Site stretches 386 kilometers from Trenton all the way to Port Severn on Georgian Bay. It's a lesser-known gem, but honestly, it might be Ontario's best-kept boating secret.
You'll cruise past forests, cottages, sleepy towns, and through some of the 44 locks, including the world's highest hydraulic lift lock in Peterborough. It lifts boats nearly 20 meters. And yes, you get to ride through it like a floating elevator. We chose a 7-day trip to Bobcaygeon, where we saw the constellations reveal themselves one star at a time. That's a Canadian reference.
Each stop is packed with character. Bobcaygeon, of course, is iconic cottage country. Burleigh Falls is ridiculously photogenic. And Peterborough? Well, it's fabulous.
So let's talk cost. Packages start around 4,000 Canadian depending on boat size and trip length. Split that between 2 or 3 couples, you're looking at less than $500 a day for your own floating home and a totally unforgettable week.
And you can choose from 3 days to 7-day loops through Ontario's Lake Country. You can also book luxury houseboats that are small enough for 2 people or hold up to 10 people, all with their own private bathrooms and cabins. When you split it between 4 to 6 to even 10 people, it suddenly becomes one of the best value summer trips in Ontario.
Just load up your cooler, hop on board, and go.
We also have links to Trent-Severn trip in the description below, and we've even done boat trips in Europe where we've done the Shannon River and the Canal de Midi. This is one of our favorite trips and the best way to see the world. It has never been a better time to take a staycation.
Seriously, why deal with travel bans and border agents when you can be sipping wine and gliding through the Rockies with zero hassle and a 5-star view? Enter the Rocky Mountaineer, a luxury train journey through the Canadian Rockies so breathtaking you'll forget about airport chaos, Trump, and the tariffs.
This is next-level travel with panoramic dome windows, heated reclining seats, outdoor viewing platforms, and unlimited drinks.
Ooh. Unlimited coffee, wine, cocktails, snacks, plus 2 gourmet meals per day served right at your seat.
And while you're sipping that Caesar cocktail, your onboard host is telling you all about the history, the wildlife, and the jaw-dropping scenery rolling by.
There are 2 main routes, Vancouver to Banff and Vancouver to Jasper. Both of them have an overnight hotel stay and Kamloops included. So you do not miss any of those great views of glaciers or grizzlies because it's all daylight travel. You don't need to sleep on the train. You stay in a cozy hotel, stretch out your legs, and do it all again the next day.
And Kamloops is a beautiful town that's a tourist attraction unto itself. There are 2 service levels. There's the Silver Leaf. It's a single-level coach with oversized dome-like windows, gourmet meals served at your seat, and excellent service and entertainment.
There's also the Gold Leaf service. This is the one with the full dome, 2-level glass viewing car, and a separate dining area downstairs where you're served 5-star meals. You'll also get access to a private outdoor viewing platform.
We did the Gold Leaf and it was incredible. We never ate so much in our lives. But if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option, Silver Leaf still delivers an unforgettable experience. At the start or end of your trip, you'll also overnight in Vancouver or Calgary, depending on your direction. And we highly recommend building in a few extra days on each end.
In Vancouver, you're not going to want to miss Granville Island for those local eats and beer, Stanley Park Seawall for a walk or a cool bike ride, a visit to Grouse Mountain where you can see 2 beautiful rescued grizzlies who are living out their lives in a beautiful sanctuary, plus views of Vancouver, the Georgia Strait, and those coast mountains. Grouse Mountain is fully accessible, but Capilano is not.
Once you hit Banff, the magic continues. Ride the Banff gondola for panoramic views, relax in the Banff Upper Hot Springs, stroll the Bow River Trail. There are options to extend your trip to Lake Louise and drive up the Icefields Parkway to see the Athabasca Glacier, go on the Skywalk, and stop at the many scenic spots on the way to Jasper National Park.
And if you end up in Calgary, check out the East Village, the Calgary Tower, Studio Bell, which is the National Music Center, or walk the riverfront before flying out or continuing your road trip.
Now, let's talk money, Dave.
Packages range from $4,000 to $8,000 Canadian per person. It does depend on your route and the class you book, and whether you tack on extra excursions before or after.
So what should you pack for the train? Have a light sweater, a windproof jacket, a scarf, your camera and phone with chargers, yes, there are outlets in the seat, sunglasses, and any meds you need. The rest can go in your suitcase and be waiting for you in your hotel room when you arrive in Kamloops.
This is slow travel at its best.
We made a full video right here and a blog post from our journey linked below. If you want to see what railcar envy looks like, click on those links and give it a watch. And for accessibility, you're sitting in plush comfort the whole time and they make everything easy, from boarding to meals to photo ops. This is a perfect trip for parents, grandparents, or anyone who deserves to feel spoiled.
We've covered luxury in the Rockies, we've cruised Ontario's canals, but now it's time to head east.
so you can take Via Rail's legendary overnight train from Montreal to Halifax.
This is Canada's oldest named passenger train, running since 1904, and it still feels like stepping back into a vintage travel dream. Think coastlines, forests, and fishing village without having to drive a single kilometer.
The journey is around 22 hours with full sleeping cabins. You can even book a private cabin with beds, washrooms, and a big window to watch those maritime views.
We're talking that old school reading a paperback with a glass of wine while the train sways gently kind of vibe.
Prices vary, but a sleeper cabin for two starts at around $700 to $1,200 Canadian. That's depending on the season and how early you book. Economy is cheaper, but trust us, you'll want to book the sleeper. You'll thank yourself when you wake up to the sun rising over New Brunswick.
So what should you bring? Well, we recommend a travel pillow or blanket if you're in economy, books of course, noise-reducing headphones, and downloaded playlists. Don't forget snacks and drinks, although meals are available on board. And don't forget your chargers. There are outlets in most seats and cabins. Comfortable clothes are always a good thing to be in and keep something warm if the AC gets really cold.
Now for accessibility, there's wheelchair spaces, accessible washrooms, and staff assistance is available.
If you're starting in Montreal, we recommend to take a couple of days to explore the city. Old Montreal is a perfect place where you can stroll cobblestone streets, check out some cute cafes, and of course, the Notre Dame Basilica. Mount Royal Park, perfect for city views and a breath of fresh air. If you're into markets, check out the Jean Talon Market, which is perfect for those train snacks and local eats. And of course, load up on bagels and smoked meat before your departure.
Then when you roll into Halifax like a legend, you're going to explore the Halifax waterfront. This is a beautiful boardwalk lined with seafood joints, patios, buskers, and museums. Make sure to go to Citadel Hill for sunset for panoramic views and a dash of Canadian history. Peggy's Cove is just a short day trip away, and you will be able to see Canada's most famous lighthouse and awe-inspiring scenery.
This is one of the last great overnight train experiences in North America. You see the countryside change from urban Quebec to rolling New Brunswick to coastal Nova Scotia.
It's peaceful, no frills in the best way, and it leaves you right downtown Halifax. No rental cars, no stress, just pure East Coast charm. And we have a video about all the things you can do in Halifax and a blog post on the best of Montreal in the links below.
While the US is busy reinstating travel bans and turning border guards into social media auditors, Canada's over here saying, we've got trains, boats, and zero baggage fees for your conscience.
Pick your rail car or houseboat and book something that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Canada has epic journeys that don't require a passport or a panic attack. And remember, Canada's not just a backup plan, it's the plan.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Tell us where you're staying and traveling this year. Or just vent about Kristi Noem if you need to.
And check out our other Travel Tuesday episodes because we are going right across Canada all summer long.